Welcome back. We are now on chapter 3 of Abundance Mindset. I hope you're enjoying the program so far. I have loved this so much. It's been good for me too. And today it is on expectations. We have to upgrade our expectations. That is what sets our limits. Whatever we're expecting, that's what we're probably going to get. If you think you can't, you probably won't. If you think you can, you probably will. If you don't anticipate things to get better, then they won't. But if you expect more favor, more good, more breaks, promotions, increase, then you are seeing new levels of favor and abundance, which means you're expecting it and you're going to receive it. So you need to get up every morning and say, something good is going to happen to me today. You have to set the tone at the beginning of each day, and throughout the day, you should have that same attitude of expectancy. Be like a little child waiting to open a gift. You should be on the lookout thinking, I can't wait to see what's going to happen. I can't wait to see what's in that box, right? Too many people drag around thinking, nothing good ever happens to me. Instead, start looking for good breaks. Expect to be at the right place at the right time. Expect your dreams to come to pass. Expect to be a winner. Doesn't winning feel so much better if you do it fair and square? Your expectation is your faith at work. We just talked about faith. Your expectation is your faith at work. When you expect good breaks, expect people to like you, expect to have a great year, then you are releasing your faith. And that's what allows good things to happen. But your expectations work in both directions. If you get up in the morning and expecting it to be a bad day, it probably will be. And if you get up with a good attitude and things are just not going right, don't give in to that. Just keep saying, it started off rough, but it's going to end great. Your faith is working. The problem is you're using it in the wrong direction when you're expecting it to be bad. Upgrade your expectations. Don't we all like upgrades? I do. Have you ever been to a hotel and they upgrade, or you're on a plane and they upgrade you to first class? Yeah, you've been on a cruise and they'll give you upgrades if you'll do so and so, so and so. We like upgrades. Why would you not want to upgrade your expectations to get those? You know, you have to have a change in your expectations and practice it every day, all through the day. You say things like, I'm going to do great on this test. I'm going to remember everything I've studied. I'm going to stay calm and peaceful. I'm going to do great on this interview. The CEO is going to love me. I'm going to do great when I go to the doctor. All my tests are going to be great. They're going to be perfect. So let me ask you, what are you expecting? Big things, little things, or nothing at all? It's really easy to anticipate the worst. I don't know why we can so easily go that direction instead of the other. You ever notice that in people? If you'll switch over into the faith and expect the best to excel, to accomplish your dreams, then you're going to draw in those blessings and favor. And a lot of people don't like this, but I'm going to make it in reference to attracting. You attract positive. And there is a very controversial thing out there called The Secret, but there's some truth to it. I don't go, and this is up to you. I'm a God-fearing Christian person. So I don't claim it's the universe. Some people, that's the way they say it. I say God. But the bottom line is you are attracting. There is good energy and bad energy in this world. There's good and bad evil. There's good and evil in this world. So why would you not want to be that magnet where you would attract the positive? And maybe it won't come easy. Maybe that's just been how it's always been. But guys, you can change it. Some people just have that negative mindset. They don't even know they're doing it. It becomes such a habit. We just go that direction. When it happens around here, we call each other out on it. Okay? And you may not always feel like each day when you get up thinking all positive. You may not feel like you're the warrior or the conqueror. But you know what? Your greatest victories are still out there in front of you, so you have to claim them. Let me just say this. If you were truly going to war, would you not want to have your full armor on? Would you not want to have your weapons in hand? I hate to tell you this. Every day you get up and your feet hit the floor, you're going to war every day. Because there is supernatural evil out there. There's so much negativity out there. You better have your armor of God on. And when you do, you're going to be armored up and prepared. And so when you start off and you think, I'm going to have a good day, and it starts going bad, go, oh no, this is just a battle. This is not the war. I will win the war. And that's the way you have to look at it. You need to say things like, I'm expecting good breaks, to meet the right people, to see an increase in business, to see better health, to see my child okay. I'm going to be at the right place at the right time. You know, these are just examples of things that you need to speak. And don't let a little negative expectation limit your life. I've heard people say this. I don't want to expect too much because I don't want to get disappointed. Do you think they're going to get much? I don't think so. That's no way to live, y'all. If you're not expecting increase and promotion and good breaks, you're not releasing your faith. And faith is what causes God to act. Faith is what causes God to act. So go to bed knowing you're one day closer to seeing your dreams, your expectations come to pass. And then get up in the morning and do it all over again. Winners develop this undeniable quality of expecting good things. I so believe that. Believe that divine connections will cross your path. Believe that the right person will be attracted to you. David said in Psalms, surely goodness and mercy will follow me all the days of my life. In the past, you may have had disappointments and setbacks following you around, but you got to let it go. It didn't work out. You know, maybe it didn't work out because there's something better. We don't really know why things don't always work out, but I always think there's a plan. And, you know, there's just people walking around looking for the next disaster, looking for the next failure, looking for the next bad break. Change what you're looking for. Start looking for goodness, for mercy, for favor, for increase, for abundance. That's what should be following you around. One definition of hope is happy anticipation of something good. If you're anticipating something good, it's going to bring you joy. It will give you enthusiasm. When you're expecting your dreams to come to pass, you'll go out each day with a spring in your step. And if you're not anticipating anything good, then you'll drag through life with no passion. I know people that I swear I tell them, you need to pinch yourself to see if you're alive. Get excited. There's people that die every day that wants one more day. Be excited you're in the present. Be excited you got a chance to make things different. When you've been through hurts and disappointments and failures, you have to guard your mind. Oh my goodness, you do. You have to guard your mind. Be careful what you allow to play in your thoughts all day because your memory is very powerful. I was just discussing actually this book today with my husband. The last chapter really impressed me, and I was telling him some things that I got from it. And one thing led to another, to another, to another. And it was headed down in a negative way, and I felt it. And I got up today feeling really good about lots of things. And then I got some good news about something. And so I'm very, in that good frame of mind. But then all of a sudden, my memory took me somewhere where I was hurt. And I didn't want that. I didn't want that. And I looked at him and I said, let's just don't even go there. So what I did was I put a stop to it right then and there. Okay. I put a stop to it. So you can control a lot of that. You can sit there. I always say you can take up residence there, but why do you want to pay rent? Right? You don't want to do that. So when your memory goes somewhere bad, put the brakes on and stop. You can be driving in your car and remember a tender moment with your child. You could remember your favorite song. You could remember, I don't know, when your husband proposed to you, something that brings a smile to your face. So if you start feeling that trigger of something bad that happened in your past, then try to jump those emotions into something else that makes you feel warm and fuzzy inside. You could be enjoying the day, everything's fine, but then you start remembering some sad event, whether it was some sad news, someone hurt your feelings, someone made you mad. And before long, you're going to start feeling really discouraged. You'll be sad, defeated, maybe even angry. And you know what all that does? It drains your passion. It will drain your passion. And I've seen that happen to someone I know recently. A lot of life has happened and a lot of disappointment, loss, and the spark isn't there. And though it's somewhat fresh, it's time to bury it. And because why would you want to go through life if you're going to be walking on this earth? Why not be living it with expectation and joy and good memories? There's enough of the bad ones, just bury them. Bring up the good ones. So don't go where something makes you sad. There's a study that says a person will lose or remember losing $50 more than he'll remember winning or gaining $50. What's it tell you? What's it tell you about us? So the negative effect has a greater impact, carrying more weight than the positive. So boy, I mean, in all reality, it is quite a battle to overcome. But the thing is, we are overcomers. So tune in to good memories and just kind of look at it like you're watching a TV show and, think of it as a movie playing. And if something happens that triggers bad memories, change the channel. Never thought of it that way till I read this. I'm like, that is really good. Really, really good. I mean, we sometimes surf, or, not a lot because we record our favorite shows and movies and things like that. So we'll fast forward so we don't have to watch commercials. But, you know, change the channel when you start having bad memories. Just switch channels. Take that remote in your head and switch channels. And so something comes up, say, no, thanks. I'm not going there. I'm not reliving that night. I'm not reliving those bad, sad, depressing feelings, those emotions. I'm going to choose to change the channel. I'm going to start remembering all the great times we had together. And I'll give you an example. My son was the cutest little boy, and yes, every mama thinks that, right? But my son was the sweetest little boy. Everyone in the neighborhood adored him. He talked all grown up, and he was really a cutie. Um, and he loved his mama. He was a mama's boy, and I loved it. And it was in a healthy way. I mean, he loved being around his mom. And I spoiled him. I'd always wanted children, and he was the only one I was able to have. And so it's been, it, I have some of the sweetest memories that a mommy could ever hope for. And so Scotty died by suicide when he was 37, and it broke me. Um, I didn't really get to grieve because there's other factors that came in that I had to take care of. And so I truly did put on my armor and trudged through it. And with God's strength and my husband and his support and lovingness, we made it. I can get triggered right away. A scene in a show on TV, something somebody says, and it'll take me to a very dark place. But I choose to not allow myself to go there because I don't want to stay there. I can't help it if the thought comes through, but I can help it from flowing, never ending. And so you have to take charge of that. You've got to take charge of your mind. You have to take charge of your heart. And you have to take charge of your day-to-day life, because if you don't, you're going to walk around sad, full of loss and grief, full of defeat and no purpose. So I know by me living my life, and yes, I had my grieving period. I did. It was probably a year. But I pulled myself up by my bootstraps and I decided I was going to honor my child by living my life, because he knew I loved life and he knew I loved him. And I just believe that me living my life to the fullest is honoring him. And so you can choose how you want to do that. So what do? When I get a bad thought, I change the channel. Yes, I do. So when you're changing the channel, what is it doing? It's causing you to start thinking in a different way. And what it's really doing is when you change the channel to a sweet memory, a victorious memory, a happy memory, that makes you a winner, right? That puts you back in the winning lane. And that's where you want to go. So constantly remember the good things. My dad passed away. I still have my mom. And that was really sad, but yet it wasn't as sad for me as it would be for some people, just because Dad said, I'm ready. He'd been sick a while, and Daddy was a hard worker. He loved his farm, and he was used to being very active, and he'd gotten where he couldn't be. And then his kidneys were failing him, and his eyesight was practically gone, and it was just a lot of things. And so one day when I asked him when he refused to go on dialysis, and he got that look like, don't even try, he said, I'm done. I'm tired. I don't want to do it anymore. I'm just tired. And in my mind, because of where I am in my life, I can't imagine saying I'm done. But when I saw the peace on his face when he said it, and I knew he knew the Lord, I was okay. Now, am I sad when I go down and he always had a chair or a recliner he sat in? When you walked in the door, there he was, big as life, but he's not there anymore. And yeah, it feels empty. There's a big void there, but I know he's with Jesus, and I know that he's not feeling like no purpose and aching and just tired. And watching life leave his body was very hard. It was very hard. It made me very, very sad. But as a Christian, I know one day I'll see him again, and that's called hope and faith and belief. So I don't want to go on too far with this. There's so much in this book, but just know that you can change the channel. Mindset is a choice, and it's not an easy choice, because we just by nature go to the negative for some reason, but we don't have to. You can avoid all of that by changing the channel and just saying, I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to do this. I've had a lot of loss in my life. I lost another baby many years ago. He was premature. He didn't live but a couple of hours. And Even now, there'll be a little pain in my heart when I see certain things, it triggers. There's a trigger in us for every event we've had in our life, good and bad. It's just I don't allow myself to stay there because I want to find the joy of the gift of life every day. And it's a choice. You can do it too. So, with that being said, our next chapter, this was a longer chapter too, but I just kind of cut it down because I don't want to talk too long. The next chapter is called Turn Up the Power, so I can't wait to share with you guys. And as always, be blessed, and you know what? Go bless someone.